Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool wooden wall designer telephone by Sitel. This is Bob's equipment from Ohio. He's got a note with a telephone, and I also spoke with Bob. This unit was hit by lightning, and so the line has been surged, and the telephone does not work. So we're going to troubleshoot it, and then we're going to repair it. And we want to get a start on this telephone. It's a very cool telephone. I like it a lot. I'm sure it does not have very much use on it because Bob said it was a new telephone and he used it very little. And then he had this lightning strike and it took the telephone out. So what we're going to do is take a short break from the video, and we're going to get started on the repair of this unit. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are in the middle of the process of repairing this really cool Sitel wooden wall designer telephone, and I want to show you a little bit about what's going on. Now, we've troubleshooted further into this board, and we started replacing the components that we found that were bad. And we've got a little pile of components here built up because this telephone was surged or hit by lightning. And we have a situation here where the last component that we're dealing with is our ring generator. And this IC chip, the numbers do not cross out. So we're having a hard time locating that. And what we want to do is we've talked to Bob about this telephone, and we're going to go ahead and instead of worrying about the piezo buzzer, because our piezo buzzer is located right here, we can remove that. And there is a switch for high and low ringer, and we're just going to make that an off and on switch, and we're going to go ahead and use a bell. We're going to install a bell on the inside of the telephone, and that would be more realistic to the situation anyway, because when you have a wooden wall telephone, it just seems like you should hear a bell sound and not a piezo buzzer sound when the telephone rings. So we're going to go ahead and finish up some situations here with the PC board, and this is what the unit looks like if you've never seen the inside of one of these telephones. We have our main PC board here. We have some wiring harnesses that go over to the hook switch and to the keypad. And then we also have our modular ports for our line cord and handset, and we have a couple of switches. One's for high and low volume on the handset receive, and then a high and low for the piezo buzzer that we just mentioned. But we're going to turn that switch into an off and on switch for an actual bell. So instead of trying to continue to search for a IC, a ring generator that we may not find, they make a lot of different ones, but you know, if the numbers do not cross out, then that's an issue. So we'll just go ahead and install the bell, and then that way that'll take care of that situation. So we're going to continue to do a few more things to the PC board, and we'll get that taken care of, get our bell installed, and then we'll come back and get some more video as we move forward in the repair and conversion of this really cool Sitel wooden wall telephone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're in the middle of the process of repairing and converting this Sitel wooden wall telephone, and we're going to run through a few things that we did when we installed the main PC board after the repair. We also installed a bell. So we mentioned that earlier, and I want to show that there was a decorative piece that looked like a transmitter and a spit cup, and so we removed that and we opened up the cabinet so that we could get the bell to travel its sound out that opening in the cover. And so we also have our decorative piece here, and it's hollow, and you can basically see through it where the holes are drilled in it. So the idea is that when the decorative piece is in its place, we have an opening in the cabinet for the bell sound to travel out. So that's just a part of the conversion that we had to do, because we don't want the bell to be trapped inside the cabinet and the sound not to be able to travel out very well. So we wanted to give it another opening, and that'll take care of that. Now we're going to come back and show you the handset. There's an issue with the handset, and we'll come back and show you that. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're going to run through the issues with the handset. Now, I spoke with Bob, and this telephone was in basically new condition. There's very little usage on this telephone, and then they had the situation with the surge or the lightning. And the issues with the handset when this telephone came in is the handset, this piece of dowel rod here, was very loose. It was just spinning around. So we went ahead and stabilized that, because it made it really hard to hold the handset with the handle just spinning around. So that's been stabilized and taken care of. The other issue is I noticed that there was a hook on the end of this handset, and we found the pieces in the box at the very bottom, and so in shipping it was broken off. And you know, it's kind of a cheesy little piece of plastic that they use as a hook, and that is supposed to grab your hook switch, and you're supposed to hang your handset up on that, and these never last. It would have broke with any kind of major usage anyway, and I don't know why they do that. I haven't seen that on this particular model, but I have seen it on other models, and that hook always gives out. It's just a little piece of plastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the part that has been broken off, and we'll go ahead and grind that down, and we'll put a metal hook, a brass hook, in the back of this phone. And what happens is, now I spoke with Bob, this actually handset hangs with the transmitter and the receiver away from the phone. So it does not point towards the phone like this. Because of the design of it, it wouldn't fit properly because the length of the hook switch is not long enough. So it actually has to hang this way. So we'll set the we'll go ahead and set the hook that we install on this telephone, which will be metal, and it will be in the proper positioning to where they can hang it up. And it kind of looks funny with it going out the other way, away from the phone, but that was the way it was intended at the factory to be used. So we'll go ahead and set it up like that, and we'll come back and we'll get some more video as we move forward in this repair and conversion of this really cool Sitel wooden wall telephone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with a repair and conversion of this really cool designer wooden wall telephone. We're going to run through a little bit about what went on. Now, earlier we showed that this telephone it's pretty new, and Bob hasn't had any real use out of it, and he started having issues because he was surged on his telephone line, a lightning strike, and it damaged the main PC board. We troubleshooted that and repaired that board. Now, we had an issue with a ring generator IC that controls the piezo buzzer, and since we couldn't cross that, we went ahead and installed a real bell. This telephone should have had a real bell to begin with. When it comes to a wooden wall telephone, you kind of associate that with a real bell anyway. So it should have came out with a real bell, but it didn't. It had a piezo buzzer, and I think it's a lot cooler now with a real bell. We showed earlier that we made an opening in the cover behind the cosmetic transmitter here, and that's so the bell can travel out from the phone. And we covered that with a cloth dust cover, and then we put our cosmetic transmitter back on. And so now we have that opening, we can hear the bell a lot better. And we also installed a hook for the hanger. Now originally this telephone should have come out with a metal hanger hook, but it was plastic and they always break off. So we installed our metal hook hanger, and that's not going to just snap off. So now what we want to do is also mention our amplified pickup. We use this in troubleshooting, repairing, and on our final checkout. It's amplified, and it's so that you can pick up the audio from a receiver on our final checkouts. And we'll go ahead and ring this unit, but there's also a switch that was originally with this telephone, and it was a high and low piezo buzzer switch. And what we did was we used that switch to be able to turn the bell off and on. So if you do not want to have a bell or you want to turn the bell off, you can simply use that switch to turn the bell off. Now we have the switch in the on mode because we want to check the telephone out and we want it to ring. So we're going to go ahead and plug the unit in. We're going to use the analyzer here, and we're going to send a ring cycle. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to let that go a few times. I'll let it go one more time and we'll turn on the amplifier. And we'll give you some dial tone. Turn off the amplifier. If you watch the analyzer, you're going to watch the numbers roll by. We'll go ahead and check the numbers. Star, pound, and I'm going to end in a 2. Now what I want to do is talk about the redial. You do not hang up the telephone to get your redial. You just hit this RP button and it'll redial. It hangs up and redials our phone number that we dialed. So go ahead and watch the analyzer. And now it's going to go ahead and redial all of the numbers that we dialed. And it'll end in a 2. Now what we can do is we can transmit into the handset. If you watch that red light on the analyzer, every time you see that red light light up, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know that this telephone is ringing in on a ring cycle. It's dialing out. It has transmit and receive. We can push this button on the switch box. That gives us a line out, totally takes the analyzer out of the situation, and we can call a time and temp number. Now I also want to mention the handset has a high and low volume, and that switch does work. So you can turn the volume down. We have it set on high. It's just because we're checking it out. Now we're going to go ahead and turn our amplifier on, and we're going to give you some dial tone. We'll dial our time and temp number.
Good afternoon. When you need body work on your car, think of Offenberg Body Shop, 901 South Illinois, Belleville. Today is Tuesday, August 18th. The time is 5:46. Current temperature 81 degrees.
Partly sunny today, showers and thunderstorms likely, highs in the upper 80s, showers and thunderstorms likely tonight, lows around 70, cooler on Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms likely, highs in the upper 70s.
We can hang up. Now we can call my number and it'll be busy. Give you some dial tone. Turn off our amplifier. Go ahead and hang the unit up. So now that we know that this telephone has been repaired and converted, we can return it to Bob and they can enjoy this telephone now. Very cool Sitel wooden wall designer telephone. I'm sure this is going to look great no matter where it's installed. It's just a really cool looking phone. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.